Damian's here.
Yeah, Damian's here. We forgot to log into that computer today.
Because we were dealing with
which is our bad.
computer issues.
Yeah, we had some computer issues over here. We forgot to log in over there. Domantas Sabonis. We're blaming Domantas Sabonis for this, by the way.
You can't blame Domas for anything, man. He is a flawless individual.
It's the handoff with Damian Barling. No, he's not. Did you hear what time he got to the podium last night?
Oh, James is the only one who complains about it. James will be fine. He was out a little past his bedtime.
It was like
the guy who goes to bed at 10.
It was 11. It was like 11:15.
That's when he got to the podium?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Dude, I told you.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Well, you were celebrating.
And then we were
double king.
Got rolling a little bit late today. And so that's why your computer wasn't logged in. We apologize.
Yeah.
It's no one cares. It's fine.
I do.
Kings won. We got a
They
game.
did. That was
we
a
got a big time game tonight.
I feel like the Kings are peaking right now too.
They could be. You know what the crazy part? Dallas might be too.
That's yes.
Uh-oh.
Dallas is playing really well.
Yeah, like Dallas is playing really well. Like we knew a while ago this was a big game. This was a big series of games.
Yeah.
And you know, in the days and weeks leading into it, the games have only gotten bigger. Like this is a massive week for the Kings, and they started it out beautifully last night. That was a tremendous game from them. They beat a struggling basketball team. They beat a struggling basketball team that has a hint of desperation to them and beat them basically from start to finish.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the most impressive wins that they've had because you've lost 10 straight losses to Philly coming into that game.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter in the past how many players were missing from Philly. They still beat you. They have a couple of bad matchups for you, whether it's Tobias Harris or Maxey. And I thought the way that the Kings came out and just really like turned the screws on everyone except for Maxey.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you were able to shut that faucet off, it was over.
It was incredible. Yeah, just a great job on him in the second half. There was the first quarter didn't bother me. We have like 20 points in the first quarter, but the Sixers had like 26 or something like that at one point. That might not have been the final score of the quarter, but at some point that's what it looked like. And it's like, that's fine. It's like what you can't handle is when a singular player has, 20, 22, 23 in a quarter, and the team has 40, 42, 43, 44, something like that. That's not what happened. So when Maxey finished with that big quarter, it was like, okay, like this is not consequential yet.
Right.
If other guys get going, it's a problem. If Tobias Harris gets going like he did last time, it's a problem. That first quarter was really, really impressive, but it was completely inconsequential to the game. And like you said, when they were able to turn that off, man, the game was over.
This might just be confirmation bias from me when I'm watching, but there's a level of confidence now that it feels like Sacramento has that when Tyrese Maxey goes for 21 in the first quarter, there's not a collective like, oh my God, we can't get a stop. Everything's on fire. And we always talked about early in the season them letting go of the rope, or they get punched and they just don't know how to respond. Yeah. And now it just feels like they constantly it's just counterpunch. That game never felt out of control last night.
Yeah, it feels like, and I wonder, James, you probably speak to this better than I can. It feels like they're playing with a certain level of, you talk about taking that punch in the face and kind of like just kind of retreating because you can only respond offensively. And it doesn't feel like that's the case anymore. Like they can make adjustments on the defensive end and deal with like, look, if Tyrese Maxey is going to cook, that's fine. No one else is. We're going to make sure no one else does. We're going to try to turn that off. But if he's doing his thing, there's nothing we could do about this right now. We're not letting anyone else get hot.
Yeah.
And now instead of having a singular way to respond, it feels like they have multiple ways to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. Like I was sitting by Sean and by Sam last night, and we looked up and I said to them, Maxey has 21 and Keegan has 17 and it's 25-21.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a game like that where, Maxey scored their first 16 points.
It's crazy.
It was absolutely bizarre. And
I think it was 16-15 at one point.
Yeah. And then Paul Reed came in and scored a bucket and like had, I think, 2.
I like Paul Reed, dude.
Yeah.
Paul Reed's my most random favorite NBA player right now.
But I'm with you too,
guy.
because we had the moment in the Orlando game where the Kings had 4 stops in the final 21 seconds. And you're frustrated because they didn't get the rebound. But at the same time, they had 4 stops. And you're like, okay, when is that going to happen again? When can they go out and do that? And I have more faith in them being able to do that now. We were watching the game. It was 8 minutes left in the fourth, and Philly had 72 points.
Yeah.
What in the world are we watching?
Yeah.
So, really interesting stuff.
It's a team that is Carol Lawson talked about her Duke women's basketball team after beating Ohio State and talked about how many times they've gone down double digits. They were down 15 in that game,
man,
and all of the work that they've done. You don't want to go down by double digits, but how do you respond to those games? And it's the coaching that you do all year that leads to that point. And Kyle, it speaks to kind of what you said a minute ago, where the Kings might be peaking. It's all of the work that they've done where we would get frustrated about their defensive efforts. We would get frustrated about them getting punched in the face and kind of, tucking away in the corner. All of the work that they've done throughout the season is leading to moments like this, where you're seeing an increase in deflections, an increase in steals.
Yep.
All of the coaching, all of the film study, everything that all of the work that they have put in up to this point is starting to show on the floor right now at the most valuable time. And that's incredible.
Yeah. Right when Keon goes into the starting lineup. Fascinating.
Well, it's it's not an accident. Like
I know it's not.
You look at what Keon is doing.
It's contagious.
The noise about De'Aaron Fox being the best defending guard in the league needs to get a lot louder than it is. Because when you look at the numbers compared to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he is right there.
Yeah.
He is right next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They talk about Alex Caruso. There's I think it's the deflections number. He's right next to Alex Caruso. Like, it's those three in those guard categories, and the noise for what he's doing on the defensive end needs to get a lot louder if this continues over the course of the next 3 weeks.
Got about a minute left here. More impressive streak. Domas's 54 consecutive double-doubles, or UConn women's basketball 30 consecutive Sweet 16s?
UConn.
That's so crazy, dude.
That's
wild.
Like that's not virtually. Like, what year is it? We're in 2024.
1993 was the last time they lost before the Sweet 16.
That's virtually Gino's entire career.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely insane. Like, Gino is a pompous, arrogant.
We're on the air. We're on the radio. FCC.
But he's one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen. Like, his ability to run that program is phenomenal.
Yeah. My wife was
shout out to Domas, but
my wife was not even alive when they last lost before the Sweet 16. That's crazy.
That's absolutely. That
you know what is necessary?
Necessary.
D'Lo and KC coming up next on ESPN 1320 Sacramento Sports Leader.